The Labor government's push for aged care workers to get a pay rise will be revealed today. Live to our senior political reporter, Trudy McIntosh in Canberra. Trudy, what are we expecting here?
Well, Laura, I'm told we will get this formal proposal by the government to the independent umpire this afternoon. So they're going to lay out their thoughts on what should happen in terms of pay increases for aged care workers. But don't expect to see an explicit figure in today's submission to the Fair Work Commission, much like what happened with the minimum wage proposal that was put forward by the new government. They're not going to put a dollar figure on this or even a percentage amount, but it's been made clear by the Aged Care Minister, Annika Wells, on Sky News, she'd like to see a, quote, meaningful and substantial increase, but unclear if they're willing to go exactly as high as what the unions are calling for, which is a 25% increase, which would take workers' pay to something like just over $30 an hour. Ultimately, this is a decision, though, for the independent umpire. That point was stressed this morning by the Shadow Finance Minister, Jane Hume. She won't say either what the opposition believes should be an increase for these workers, instead warning there could be unintended consequences if the rise is too high.
Well, the question to really be answered here, Pete, is whether those wage rises will in fact be passed on to residents, will they be passed on to ordinary Australians that are about to go into aged care, and will they make a difference to productivity? Now, we know that aged care workers are some of the lowest paid workers in the land, certainly, but we also want to make sure that even if they do get a pay rise, that the system is sustainable.
Trudy, still on the wages front, Labor is now vowing to intervene to stop pay deals being axed. Tony Burke describing this as kind of an employer rort.
Yeah, the Employment Minister, Tony Burke, Laura, will make this pledge today in a speech in Canberra that he is going to move on legislation later this year as a part of the broader industrial relations changes that would prevent workers' pay from being cut back if businesses unilaterally terminate enterprise agreements. Now, it's complicated, this sort of IR changes, but it's been highlighted by this industrial dispute that's going on at the moment with one of the nation's largest tugboat operators. They're engaged in a dispute at the moment over pay and are threatening to unilaterally withdraw the enterprise agreement. Now, Mr Burke says this could see workers' pay reduced by something like 40%. And he says this tactic is essentially a rort by business and one that he wants to stamp out. So we will get further details by the Minister later this morning. And I'm also told, Laura, we will hear from the Minister on this matter, but also that aged care submission later this morning.
OK, that's an important one, Trudy. Thanks so much.